All right, everybody, welcome back to another daily hack. And, yesterday we got into a little bit of the VTS and visibility specifically. So, guess what? We get to talk about a little bit of traffic, the T in VTS. So, but first and foremost, Ron, what's going on? Are you ready to get your office back yet, or what?
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. They're actually doing mudding on the walls, whatever that means. So that's super exciting. But it's getting closer. I don't know if it's close, but it's closer than it was. How about that?
Okay. So, May, we'll have your office back. Let's hope.
Maybe.
May be. Okay. So yesterday, yeah, we talked about visibility. Today we talked about traffic, and there's several kinds of traffic, but you and I, Ron, we rely on one source specifically for traffic pretty heavily because of the relationship we've built with current clientele.
Yeah.
But tell me, in your words, what does referrals mean to Hindsight Hacking Media?
It is hindsight hacking media. I mean that's as easy. Without referrals, there would be no hindsight hacking media. I mean, at the end of the day, we've grown the company through referrals only with no ads, right? So we rely on referrals, and we look at referrals as, we've either done what the client asked, or surpassed their expectation of what they wanted, and they're happy, right? So if usually customers are happy and you've given them more than they've asked for, they're more likely to tell their friends or families or other people that are interested in the service that you offer about your company. So your referrals is the lifeline of your business. Not necessarily just leads, it's just referrals and relationships.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the beauty part, the beautiful part of referrals that I love is that that's a good sign of what you're doing with your current clientele, right? And if people are willing to refer anybody to you, then that means that we're doing our job and taking care of them, right? And that's our ultimate goal, is to take care of people that we have. George Bryant's famous quote is, I don't know how famous it is, but I love this quote, is feed the kids you have before you go adopt more, right? And that's in sense of take care of the clients you have before you go search out more. And so I think that's kind of like the cornerstone of what we do. We start with, are we taking care of who we have first, and then grow beyond that as best as we can. So just, another side conversation of traffic. You've got the way to earn your way in. You've got buy your
Mhm.
way in.
Mhm.
There's all those different pieces that we could go into. You just mentioned we don't do Facebook ads. We've done it for one workshop we've done. Like, that's the only Facebook ads we've done for ourselves. We do it for clients, but not
Right.
for ourselves on a regular basis. But thinking about the earn your way in, how do you earn your way to traffic?
Oh my gosh, this is a fun story. So I'm gonna tell the story. So we were in a group that we were learning from, right? And we were very involved in their Facebook group, and we started doing these fun little videos, right? So we would edify the guest, we would answer the homework that way. We had some fun with it, and it was very branded hindsight hacking and us, even though you're not really supposed to do that. But the group saw it so much, and the owners of the group saw it so much, like they kept pointing out and waiting for our next video because they thought it was fun and unique and creative. So that was one, got their attention of the group owners. But the people that were in the group, and it was a large group, thought we actually worked for the group owners because we were answering the questions, being involved, helping people out, not expecting anything in return because we weren't. And that exploded our business just from those funny little videos.
Yeah, but more important, right? Like, we didn't have a goal of getting people from there, but we went in and provided value to the group owner, to everyone around that we possibly could provide value for,
Mhm.
right? And so I love this story because anybody out there, like it, you've got some special skill if you're selling something. And so find a group that has something that you can go provide the value for, right? Like that's
Right.
first and foremost. And then you do that enough, people will gravitate to you. You do that enough with no expectation of having anything in return, and people will find their way to you. The right people will find their way to you. So uh,
100%.
but if you go in there with a mindset of, oh, I'm going to find my clients here, then you're looking at it all wrong. Like, go in there where the group owner loves your communication, loves your whatever you're doing, right? Like, that's the thing. If you're in somebody else's group and you're the one that the group owner loves and the people love, like, that's when you know you've hit the gold mine. That's when you know
Yeah.
people will come to you.
Yeah.
So,
And most groups that we're involved with, we have a great relationship with the group owner, that pushes people towards us.
yeah.
So it's a win-win for them and for us, because we also reciprocate that and push people towards them.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So that's, one tip, one trick as far as earning some traffic. Another piece is to really go into having communication and building relationships as you meet people. So you and I probably get, a dozen plus friend requests a day in Facebook. We probably get Facebook recommends us to go and be friends with others all the time. But you and I, we are more slow in accepting these requests or giving these requests because we want to actually build relationships. So it's all back to that, right? Like, I don't want to go just get 100 new friends. I want to go get 10 new relationships,
Right.
right? And
Right.
that's, again, if you build relationships, what happens, Ron?
You build relationships, you can understand how you can actually serve them more, but trust happens, right? So the relationship, you get to know each other, and you're invested in their success just as much as they're invested in your success.
Yeah, 100% well said. So, I mean, that's the first and foremost, right? Build relationships, find places that you can go provide value, never have any expectation in return. Good things come and happen to you. And then the other side of traffic, again, we mentioned ads, but you don't own your social media, right? Are you collecting emails? What are you doing with the emails? Are you, uh, do you have a website that you provide people with, right? Like, obviously, building relationships, sending them to the website, like that's kind of the ultimate, right? Like, you start to get people and traffic heading that way. So I say this because what if you don't have it?
Right.
What do you do?
Right. Well, we've both been there.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So you have a place for people to go, to a community to build, whether it's on Facebook. If you don't have a website, build relationships anyway, send them to a Facebook group that you can start today for free. Then get a website, right? Like, you got to have a place for people to go and check you out. There's so many different things that you can do on that sense. Done beats perfect. Yes, go out there, make sure you get something. And then my last comment on this is, again, it starts with relationships. It starts with building that community, finding ways, as you mentioned, Ron, to how can I serve that person, right? Does my solution solve their problem, or does their problem, can I solve their problem in a separate way and figure that out? And so until you understand those things, you'll never be able to build the traffic stream that you want.
Absolutely. And guys, don't jump into paid traffic until you've kind of tested that messaging in your own like free way. So on Facebook, on in your groups, because if you haven't tested it, or if you've tested it and you've gotten no response, you're probably going to get crickets just paid for them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Build the relationships, have your solution ready, offer it one to one. If I have an offer, I'm going to talk to Ron directly. And if he has any objections, I'm going to figure out if I can solve those objections. If he doesn't buy, I'm going to figure out why. Right. And then I'm going to go to the next person. And again, it's a one on one conversation. And as we get people to buy with those one on one conversations, then guess what? Then you can start to look at more of a group of one to many. You can start to look at actually getting paid traffic, but you've got to sell it organically. You've got to sell it one to one first before you start to get for your paid crickets. You don't want any paid crickets. So,
Right.
all right. That's all for today. Again, VTS conversation this week, visibility yesterday and traffic today. Guess what? Tomorrow might be about sales.
Maybe. All right, guys. Have a great day.